Sorry.
This is why you don't feed her. She burps.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of A Drink with
Meri
and Mina. We went straight into recording another episode. We didn't even take a pee break. We'll see how it goes. So, are you tired?
I am very tired. I'm sleep deprived. I had like 2 hours. Well, 1 hour, 1.5 hours sleep all day. Early summer.
What about last night?
Last night I was working.
You came from a night shift?
Yes.
I mean, I didn't sleep all night last. I went to bed at 8 this morning. But at least I've had like 5 hours. What is wrong with me, man? 5 hours is not enough these days.
Don't even ask me. I came from a night shift. I went to bed at 8 as well. Woke up at 9 and then went with mom. 9:20 again. 9 ma.
Oh my god.
So I had to have coffee. Coffee is what is keeping me alive.
Do you want to get coffee or are you okay?
No, but then I look at at that phase. You know, like balance gonna get
I really don't understand. I don't know whether caffeine doesn't work on me or whether I win over it. If I want to sleep, coffee harani, I will sleep.
Instant coffee doesn't do shit for me. It's like instant coffee, jack shit. But if it's like
espresso shot,
like proper, like, you know, coffee,
ground coffee,
then that works for me. Instant coffee, like it works. Like, you know, 1 hour ish, like placebo ni wala.
Yeah.
But if you're having like a good ground coffee, then that works for me.
Right.
Like some of them are so strong that it makes my heart like palpitate.
Oh shit. More like if I want to wake up, I'll probably drink decaf coffee and feel like,
I've done it.
I'm alive.
You're fucking naughty to the core, okay, mate? Let's just accept it.
Talking about
does that happen to you? Like, maybe I don't have enough butt fat. Like, it's the tail.
I'm supposed to say that. I'm got bony ass.
I don't know why. But yeah.
Talking about notanki, let's move on to the notanki of this podcast. Maisha kind of suggested that we talk about how we're healing our inner child. It's bold of her to assume that we have healed or we are on the way to heal our
inner child.
I literally, when you said that topic, I was trying to think, how am I doing it? I could not think much. I was like, but then I went, but what is my inner child though? And it got me into deep thinking. This is why I love this podcast and these random topics, because it makes me think and it makes me reflect. I don't understand these Gen Z suggestions. But yeah, it did make me think deeply into what my inner child is.
So tell me. What was the deep thought?
I think one word comes to mind when I think about my inner child. Deprived. I was very deprived. Lovely. Not that I was like, I grew up in a poor condition and all that. And some part of my life, yes, I did grow up in poor conditions where we didn't have money, blah, blah, blah. But I think I've been emotionally deprived most of my childhood. But we'll elaborate on that later on as we go along. What about yourself?
I mean, we have touched on basis on yours by that, no? Myself,
there's no trauma. Runena. Don't cry, Mary, don't cry.
What I say, I think I'd like to think I had a very smooth childhood, eh? Like, I pretty much got everything I wanted, materials, realistic type, okay? Emotionally, pane, I think pretty much hit boy wala. But you know, it just never hits 100%, okay?
Yeah.
Because you're feeling this way because you were deprived at one point either, in some parts, you know? I like to think I had a privileged childhood compared to a lot of people. And you, definitely, you know? Because, I mean, it was only two of us. You guys are 4 of you.
5.
So, Sarada.
We were 5. We
you
technically
had
raised
from a-
our mama
yeah.
sort of.
So, 2 like 5 khane, there's a difference, Nita. And you guys lived in Pokhara, whereas Hami Kafanama Theo. And, like,
And be born in a household where your mom prioritizes the son.
we didn't have that problem because
Yeah,
there
you
was
didn't
no
have
son.
that problem.
Only I guess my grandparents, they were both working, so that kind of helped as well, the environment, you know. But yeah, in that conditions, yes. But I was deprived because there was a lot of restrictions for me. Restrictions in expressing myself. Despite I had everything that you could think, like, she's having a fucking amazing child, what is she complaining about? Restrictions. I'm the way I am because I had restrictions. Like, I'm careless, I'm free, I'm reckless, if you may, you know. Because I didn't have that. Like, I don't know how to cycle because the only place I could cycle was my tot. Rooftop, mate. I don't know how to play badminton or any other sport because I didn't have anyone to play with because we weren't allowed to go out with our friends over there. So the only sport we played was swimming because uncle would take us there and drop us back home. So always parental guidance, supervised, shelled child, and suddenly like oyster.
You know
basically.
what phrase comes to mind?
What?
The bird in the golden cage.
Yeah, pretty much. So imagine you're like on sunny. Like, oh, she's had perfect childhood, good school girl.
You had a very cushioned childhood, but your childhood was just this. Yeah.
And I used to envy kids. Oh, I meet the gaon. What does gaon feel like? Tell me gaon, like,
Such
oh my
a
god.
city.
Honestly, until Osti, like, I went to my gaon for the first time in my life at 27 years.
Oh.
That was peak. And when my मेरो गाउँ चाहिँ बजेको गाउँमा जान्थे के, like my, you know, like my mom's mama घर in गाउँ, हैन. We went there, and then because my mom's mom was a major ko छोरी, they used to bring doka and I used to fucking go on a doko, man. So I never had that, you know, hike गरेर त्यो तिर्सना हुन्छ नि.
Oh, tirsana.
Like, you know, oh wow,
Yeah.
reaching the destination.
Yeah.
I never had that. I've never felt it.
That's probably why you're not much into hiking these days anyway.
Because I never experienced that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no one took me out. So I've literally been, like, shelled conditioned life, okay?
Hey?
And even in Kathmandu, I only know the places that I know, okay?
Oh,
Do you get it? It's bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, it's bad, okay? So,
oh my god.
like, that was what I was deprived for. And now I just go everywhere and anywhere by myself with people if I want to.
Yeah.
But just like, imagine that shell child.
When you say it like that, it makes me kind of, I mean, I shouldn't glorify this, but also I'm a little grateful that my mother didn't pay much attention to me when I was a child, because I used to get up to weird
Again,
things.
Ignorance is a bliss, right?
Yeah.
So what Mera mom ko parenting is literally the parenting that people in 30s are doing right now to their kids.
Yeah.
The shelled,
the overprotective,
like, what are you feeling? Tell me. You know, what do you want to eat? Let me fulfill it to you. Type of.
My child will choose their own gender.
Yeah, and that's literally what they're doing now. And I'm like, fuck, man, like, you're growing up to be me. The pressure.
Right?
And then I think my Amro household was the only household who was raised without getting one slap from mom. Okay?
Oh my god.
So everyone in the town knew. Everyone's like, ek zapar nakhera hurkeko bachharu kasto huncha ta herom, like, they still have the expectations of, is she gonna do well?
Yeah.
I'm 28, bro. Like,
there's like a bloody clear divide here. Okay, we are like the yin and the yang.
Honestly,
I was very underprotected. You were very overprotected. Oh my god.
Like, literally, it was hard.
What?
Princess life types.
हाम्रो त छोरी वहाँ कताको खोलामा गएर नुहाएर आइसक्यो थाहा पनि पाउँदैन बुढी.
But that changed though. That princess life changed ever since I moved to the UK. Snap out of it type of very quickly.
It must have been a very hard pill to swallow. Okay, the change.
I was quite glad, because it's like I haven't had this freedom.
Yeah,
Like I haven't got to fight. Like it's chill type go. So no matter, you like the taste of it. But you're like, oh, I have to do everything by myself now.
I feel like that kind of under prepares you for adulthood.
Yeah, it did.
Right?
But then I grew up very quickly. 2 years, my kid.
Yeah,
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So I basically had to live my childhood and my adulthood within like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
And I missed out on the childhood neither. So that's what I'm trying to heal now.
There was no orientation. There was no trial period. You just go out to go.
It's like basically tiger like domesticate got and then you leave it out.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna survive? It was literally that, like metaphorically.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Mother, I think I am kind of now feeling a bit grateful for the way my mom raised me by not paying attention too much to me, or like letting me be shit basically. Because I always have that survival instinct in me. Have you seen me? You have seen me, right? I do have the built-in survival instinct. I do have the fighter in me that just kicks in whenever it needs to surface. And I'm glad that I
felt that way.
Yeah.
It's like you went to military school really young.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, it came at a cost, obviously. I couldn't understand until I was way into my adult life of why I was so unwanted, why I was so unloved.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thankful for what they say, you are what you have gone through.
Yeah, sorry, my hair is just not hairing right now.
Your hair is not
hairing right now. Yeah.
But I'm quite glad. And what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something, I forgot. Birsio. It just completely went out the window.
Went out the window, mate.
Went out.
So what are you doing to heal your deprived childhood, Oilete?
I mean, I'm just trying to recognize my deprived childhood. I mean, I think, as a child, I was not only I was deprived, right? And very early on, I realized that to be wanted, you had to be good at something. And I always tried to be good at everything, did everything that this society or my mom or my dad thought was good. Always did things that would bring them glory,
joy,
and joy, like being good at studies, being good at everything. And luckily, thank God, I was good at a lot of things in school, in everything. Like I used to go to competitions, I used to win everything. Like even cooking competition, I used to win it, come back, and my parents would be so proud of it. And I think I lived for that, because that was my way of gaining attention. That's my way of
ego,
gaining love. And I think that kind of makes you want that attention, and you're sustaining that attention by pushing yourself one step harder, and you're doing everything that they expect you to do. And when you're good at everything, you not only compare yourself with others, but also you become the subject of envy. Okay?
Yeah.
You become the subject of envy from your siblings. You become the subject of envy with your friends who are studying at the same time with you. And a lot of the times people are nice to you because they need something from you.
Yeah, definitely.
And I had a lot of that. And I still think to this day, I don't have like a childhood friend that I'm in touch with, or that I had like a bond.
Because everyone was just trying to copy your homework, I bet.
Yeah, and every time I was close with somebody, I had like a year of being close to them. I had 2 years of being close to them. But in the end, there would be arguments about something. And it was always, and it was a very bond-crushing arguments. And I think I did everything that they expected me to do at that age, and I was constantly comparing myself to my brother because he was my biggest enemy भन्नाले नि he was the one that took away everything from me right from the birth ni ta. So I was always trying to resentment pani, I was always trying to do one thing more than my brother so that I would be the center of attention, so that I would be, you know, loved as per se. But that kind of made me realize that no matter how much I do, and no matter how much I push myself, and no matter whether I'm the best, for my mom, I was never enough. I was always below my brother. And I think that was like a very hard pill to swallow again. I know, I was growing up. And I just realized that people just wanted you until they got something out of you. And on top of that, I think the biggest thing for me, the biggest disappointed for me was that when you were doing best and when you were pleasing people, essentially, you weren't allowed to make a mistake. Like, you weren't allowed to make a single mistake, because my single mistake would mean I would have bond crushing arguments. I would lose friends. I would lose the attention that I was so addicted to and felt like I needed in my life. Okay? I've been choking. So when I finally made mistakes, because you can only go on so long without making mistakes, you can only go so on being the person that you really are not from within. And when that shell actually started cracking and I started revealing parts of me that I had suppressed, or parts of me that was not free to come out because I was scared that I would disappoint people, and I was scared that they would walk away from me. When that started coming out and people started leaving, I realized, okay, alright, so that is when I had like I wouldn't say destructive. It was destructive, but also at the same time, it was life-changing things happened in my life. Okay? I think that was a long journey. I would say that spanned over probably 2 decades of my life, trying to understand that you should be your priority, and that you should first please yourself, and then you can do something for others. It was just a long one, basically.
And it still continues.
The
battle with yourself is the hardest one.
Oh my God.
That's the hardest ever, and then it just doesn't stop ever.
It doesn't, does it?
Because you always want to be better than your yesterday, and you want to be a better version of tomorrow. But yeah, for me, a lot happened at the age of 16 and 17. Like, I would say it's my revolutionary age. I moved to the UK. I've just come out of shell. I've just experienced everything. New place. Used to move to the UK, but then I made SLC soccer party. So literally, I gave my SLC when I was 15, but by the exams came 16. But yeah, no, because obviously Nepal, my new year and something. And that was my phase. Like, I had a friend who was my fucking ride or die. We still are to this day, you know. We had a group of 3 called the Chipmunks. Zani songe, everywhere songe, and then not so much Asta, but like more or Shali when it's everywhere we'd go fucking together, man. I was healing my inner child. I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna fucking rebel now. You deprived me of my freedom. I'm gonna take it all. It got to the wholesale, man. Every single day I wouldn't be home. We used to go bike shows at the age of 15. Oh. Like stunt shows. Like, what the fuck? We would be only girls in the whole Usmake. I swear. And those were the best years of my life. Like, hands down, even to this day, I can akatimle write it. Because that was the first taste of, wow, this is life.
Freedom.
Yeah. Hated family. hated every single person because obviously that's the age that you hate family.
Yeah.
And then Zante Matizan, okay, this is what you've been hiding me from. Guess who's not gonna come to family events? Me. Missed all my cousins' birthdays, didn't care, didn't matter kind of bugne. You know, like that kind of person.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, that went on for a good. They would have continued better, like 5 years, I guess, like good 5 years.
5 years.
I think Theo phase my Theo thought obviously you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But the mentality was that. It's an I don't give a fuck mentality. Okay? You get me? Thought I didn't give a fuck, but with responsibilities. Yeah, I'd say. But there it was like I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, but I have to give a fuck.
I have to give a fuck now here. Say, but there I was like, I really don't give a fuck. And I didn't care what my mum was going through. I didn't care what the financial status was at home. I don't know. I hope it was good. Like they never told me, obviously, as a kid. And they were like, "Oh, you're going to the UK. It's not fucking good enough excuse to just do whatever that I want." Okay.
Yeah.
And we rebelled. And from not going out to coming home at 10 o'clock.
10
in the evening.
That is too early for me.
So, like, come on, man, for someone who never went out.
Yeah.
Coming home at 10 o'clock at the age of 15 and you have just gone to Motorola Razr, eh? Mom le phone and phone 8 o'clock they start to name. You just keep ignoring, bro. Like, you just keep ignoring. It's just everyone's done that, no? And then that was me. Eh? That was how I started to get the taste of the world, express myself, and I was like, okay, this is what it is. This is what it feels like having fun. This is first time had cigarettes, like first time like actually enjoyed alcohol as a people, like, you know.
As a people? What were you until now? A dog?
As in, like friends,
yeah.
And then we day parties when back in the day.
Yeah.
So when daytime clubbing
they
and
used
then
to put the shutter down.
No, we went to proper clubs. I don't know you guys went to shutters.
In my days.
We used to have club OMG and platinum those are the ones we would go. Insomnia, I don't know if I went, but if you from Kathmandu, you remember these. So day parties and because obviously we weren't allowed out till late neither. And because of my parents didn't allow us till late, everyone had to go home, okay? And it's quite sucky for their part, eh?
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that they stuck by me. So that was it. Like, I had the taste of whatever I was deprived of. And I'm still doing it. I'm still healing that child. I'm still doing everything that I can to just be like, okay, fuck you then, type, okay?
Yeah.
So my way of motivation, yours was like, I'm to go do better at it, get more attention, type, okay? Mine was a negative way.
Yeah.
It wasn't positive. Mine was like, well, look what I'm gonna do to piss you off next.
Too much attention.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm gonna manipulate that.
I mean, not really too much attention, but it's just I wanted to be a kid after that age.
I was trying to I was trying to attract attention. You were trying to discard it.
Yeah, I was trying to like move away as far as I can. And oily like literally nothing motivates me more than haters. Okay, I'm not saying haters like I have haters more famous. Like life mounts. Okay, let me fucking prove you wrong then, but in not a good way. And then like let me get this and like.
Yeah.
You have certain expectations of me. Let me prove you wrong. Because number one, you shouldn't have expectations of me.
Yeah.
And number two, like, you are putting expectations on me. That's your fucking disappointment. That's not me.
Yeah.
To handle the burden of it. So I try my best to do that. But my biggest battle was expectation of me, expectation of myself from me. Okay. So mirror after expectations on something like in life where I want to go. But then you don't reach it, and that's when it sort of like
becomes frustrating. Yeah,
impatient with myself. This
kind of like similar journey for me as well. I went from doing everything for everybody to suddenly realizing that people are hurting me because I made one mistake or two mistakes. And then I went for okay then. I'm just going to be me and myself and I. And I went from one extreme to the other. And I used to do everything that was just me, to the point where I was neglecting everything else. And I went from, and I'm telling you, that's not healthy as well. I think I did go through an era of selfishness, but also it was very much needed for me to learn. I guess I needed to go through the era of selfishness to understand what selfishness and caring for others meant. And I think that was the two extremes kind of taught me the good and the bad of both sides. And I think at that age when I was in that me, myself, and I, like even my passwords was me, myself, and I. Like I know it's cringe.
How obsessed.
Well, it was literally me, myself, and I. And I used to do everything for me. Like I could not give a fuck for anybody else. Did you hear? But it's a very lonely place to be in. When you realize that you're doing everything for yourself, you don't have the balance of selfishness and self-care. So that's when you realize, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore. So you kind of start coming back to the middle, try and balance things, and you are able to understand better what self-care is and what selfishness means. And even to this day, I do struggle with that balance every now and then. And so you do have these two minds that are fighting. If I do this, am I protecting my boundary, or am I just being too detached? That kind of debate is always going on between me. And me being a Gemini does not help that. It's like a bloody battle of two minds and my two sides. A bloody battle of 4 people inside my head. But it's I'm telling you, being too selfish leads you to a very lonely place, but also people pleasing too much also leads you to a lonely place.
I definitely agree. Like, I have a family history of people pleasers, like generations of people pleasers. And you know it very well. And I used to be like Osti someone. I was like, do you know what? I'm not a people pleaser type. Okay. But now that I had a deep think about it. Actually, literally just yesterday. Okay. And I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm not a people pleaser compared to my mom and my grandmom. Yes.
Yeah.
But like, I am one. Like, I definitely have to fucking agree. I am one. Like, more jokingly one too. But then, like, you're actually serving the purpose. Okay, I'm like, Mary, what the fuck are you doing? Because I always think about other people before myself if you're in a group setting with them. I always are like, if I'm like, if it's supposed, let's say we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, what would you like guys like to do? I always ask first. Okay, I would be like, I want to go here, but what do you guys think? If the majority say no, I won't even try to manipulate. I'll just be like, okay, let's just find something else then. That's how I get. Whereas like, if I was selfish, I would definitely be like, oh no guys, I know. Yeah, sorry tarika type of, you know, like trying to push that. But I know,
you know what, Mary? I feel like I feel like you're seeing that a bit wrongly. There's a side of you that has to be considerate of others and when you're in a group. And I wouldn't consider that people pleasing.
Okay.
As long as there's a group discussion about what everyone wants to do and we come to a conclusion together and nobody is losing out much or everybody is losing out the same amount or gaining the same amount, I feel like that's a very good way of, I feel like that's the balance.
Yeah.
Because for example, for us, you know, when we go out, we're always considerate of each other's choices and wants and everything. And we always do things together and we always work together. And I feel like that's a good balance. I have seen people who are very selfish, who are in a group and be like, I want to do this, so everybody else around me has to do this as well.
I think that's where I'm coming from as well, because I'm not that person. I've been in instances where we booked an Airbnb and people would just say, I want that room. And I didn't even say a word to say, have you looked at other rooms? That were like, you know, okay, that's fine then if this brings peace to the group type of person. Okay, like, why the fuck am I that person? But you're paying the same amount. You're sleeping on a fucking sofa bed, okay? Not even a bedroom. But you're paying the same amount. And you didn't even say a word. And your bedroom is basically the hangout spot. Everyone's hanging out there. And you're in the sofa bed. And you didn't even, like, consigns my time, okay? And you didn't even speak a word, and that to me was like, oh shit, am I the people pleaser? Like, am I just doing it so that it just keeps peace? No confrontation.
You know, that makes me remind of my own friend groups. Okay? Whenever we go on a holiday, we have a couple who just go in and select the best rooms all the time, and then we get basically given the other rooms that we decide amongst ourselves. And I do hold back from saying anything at that time because
Ruins the
the
trip.
person that chose the best room, they have, it's like out of care and out of pure consideration, okay? Because they have a lot of shit going on in their life. They have a weaker mental health than I have. So if I say just this thing, if I refrain from doing this one thing, then that's a lot of help for them type go. Whereas I go on 10 trips in a year. She probably goes on 2-3 trips. I feel like, and I only go on 1 or 2 trips with her. And if I gave up that 1 or 2 times, it's not going to affect my 8 trips. I feel like that's where the balance comes in. But if that person is going to make a habit of doing it all the time, then obviously you have to say something, because obviously everybody paid equally.
That happened to me. It's so huge time and again. It's like, yeah. And I hate myself for not standing up. And I think that comes from a history of bullying, being bullied in school. So we didn't even acknowledge that until recently. Like, my ride or die, we were just talking and we're like, fuck man, we were bullied big time. And no one confronted anything. We just suppressed it because we had the fear if we stood up, if we told someone, nobody would support us. And actually nobody would. Yeah. So what's the point? And actually recently we were bullied, we acknowledged that, and we were like, fuck man, we had bullies. And I think it all derails to that experience, the confrontation.
Yeah.
But I understand your friend Kosarkoma, they need it. But I know what the needs are, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start here. Driver pani moi.
Oh my god.
Kitchen ma pakane pani Meri Sagurung. And I'm sleeping on the fucking sofa bed. Are you mad? And I didn't say anything. People pleasing again a lot. That is
true.
big fucking time people pleasing.
There's no equality in that trip.
Period. I'm learning though. Even though rooms wherever I can sleep is fine.
Yeah.
If I'm driving, I'm doing my best not to touch the kitchen.
Yeah.
So that's not my fucking responsibility. If no one's cooking, we're getting takeout.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm not cooking. Why not? I don't mind cleaning the dishes, whatever. Go for the sun is fine. And I thought, if I'm driving, I'm not cooking. Boy, let's this and you just think about it, and you're just like, whoa, this is too much. And when I was in uni as well, we had like 4 or 5 rooms now. Rooms with different sizes, and I was saving up to go backpacking to India. That was my another phase. Like, fuck it, rebel out, yo, peace out. I still have that rebel in me, Do you know what I was like, okay, look who I can piss off now. I work like do bits of my time. When I was saving to go India, my room, everyone room rent price was the same. Okay?
Yeah.
So I said, I'll take happily the single small room. You know that small room.
Yeah.
I'll happily take the small single room if it's gonna be cheaper. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
People had room 4 times my size, and they were paying the same price. How is that fair? So when I said the people who's gonna pay my room go 10 mirror size go room go mantility. So the biggest room person, I told, you have to pay a certain amount to me.
Yeah.
So that my rent is cheaper. Because the agent wouldn't go that way. They're like, why should we pay? And I'm like, let me have the big room then. Period.
Exactly.
Danda.
Yeah.
And the person would not understand why he or she had to pay their money towards me. Okay? I didn't even ask for that. I said 10 quid from your month. That's a lowest ask. Why the fuck did I ask only £10? Shame on me. Don't even ask me. All I was concerned about was my gym membership cover was okay. Like I know. Bar
at
is
that
low.
age, you don't really. I don't think you have it in you to handle that kind of confrontation and that kind of conversation.
I mean, I still struggle with confrontation. Let's be honest. Come on, this is me talking what 2015, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 100, okay, great maths. 7 years ago. And then that was like, it was quite intense for me, yeah.
Yeah.
But all I asked was 10 quid, bro. 10 quid milk content. The second biggest room person says she'd pay £5 towards my room. I basically said that you need to give me 15 quid so I can pay for my gym membership. That's it. That's all I asked.
Yeah.
If not, I'm going to have the biggest room then. Because clearly it's the same for everyone.
Yeah.
So why the fuck should I struggle? Oh no. Money double bed king size ma Romailo Gormlanta, innit? They were not having it. And I'm like, mate, sorry then.
Yeah.
Like, you want me to have the smallest room, the shittiest room, and me paying the same amount as you. Second best room person was like, okay, I'll chip in £5 towards your monthly whatever.
Yeah.
And then the first room person was like, I guess I have to type, okay? On it.
These kind of things is exactly how I started turning a new leaf in my life. Okay? When I realized that people are not as considerate as you are towards them.
Who fucking raised you, bro? I'm sorry, no.
They probably had all their demands met.
Like, I'm sorry, like, I know, Didi, I had my demands met too. But I still knew how to human.
Yeah.
I wasn't an alien fucking...
You can't expect that from everybody. You will always have some kind of idiots who...
Honestly, what the shuket like, at the level someone like, you don't even see, and these are the people who probably don't even think, they're delusional. There's poor people out there, okay? Like they're like literally in a different tax fucking bracket. They're like probably what, upper middle class or even higher, but they think they are there anyway.
Yeah.
Well, like I was like, bro, like consideration zero.
I've had a lot of gobsmacking moments in my life where I realized that people are not as considerate as you are, and people were not as forgiving towards your one little mistake as you should be. You know, when you think, oh, I've done so much good towards them and you've earned the good credits, so one mistake would be allowable, right? Forgivable? No. Apparently you went straight to the bad books. All the good things that you have done in life were nothing. They were completely dismissed by one small mistake. And that happened with a lot of relationships in my life, whether that's friendship, with mom, with family, with anything. And then I realized, do I look like a bloody floor mat that people are just stepping on, wiping their shit off, and then doing whatever they can? And then that's when I realized, okay, this is not it. I felt like I had lived my life to a certain point, living up to people's expectations, living up to other expectations, living up to my expectations that were full of how to please others.
Yeah.
You know? And then I really, really looked back and reflected on myself, and I said, what do I actually want in life? You know, bache dekhi, oh, doctor banne, engineer banne. Was that my own thinking?
My brain was not capable of that. I realized that at a very fucking young age.
No, honestly, like, was that my thinking? Did I really want to do that?
Or that just fed into you?
Because that was considered the
elite, noble.
Yeah, exactly, of the society. And I really, really started on this, I would say, either a self-destructive journey, but that journey was absolutely necessary because I needed to break down everything that I'd built until now, because it was built on somebody else's foundation. So I had to
put.
So I had to bloody break down everything to the core and unlearn and see, okay, I'm gonna have to start from scratch at the age of 20 something, you know. I have to build from scratch now. What do I want? What do I enjoy? What do I do this? That's why I feel like I'm at the age of 34 and I'm just starting my career. And I've just got engaged. I've just got married. I'm not even thinking about children or anything. Like, I feel like I lost so much time doing all that, and I have no regrets. I'm glad I would have rather. I'm glad that I spent most of my years trying to build myself the way I want to be from my core than suddenly realizing at 35 that you have two kids, you have a good paying job that you don't enjoy, that you listen to your parents, that you listen to everything else everybody said but apart from you. And I'm glad, like, okay, I'm late at things, but as you keep saying, everybody has their timeline.
Everybody has a
And
timeline. And the recent meme I shared to you guys, you've technically avoided the divorce age. Get 32, I don't know.
Exactly. And I feel like my timeline is, I'm proud to say that my timeline, no matter how late it is, no matter how early it is, no matter what it looks like, no matter how rocky it is, it's mine and just mine. And there are influences of others on that, but they're not strong enough to beat my own thinking
or change your mind.
My own, yeah. That's why I feel like these days I'm at a very good place where, you know, as you said, haters, I used to get riled up with haters. I used to think, oh my god, and then I realized, hang on a sec, this is also somebody else's influence
and opinion
on me,
on you as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm at a very good place where, okay, I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, haters don't affect me and all that.
It does.
Sometimes it does, but for me the effect is very short term, very temporary, and then I realize that, okay, I am not supposed to be affected by somebody else's opinion. You know, and I very quickly, the recovery time to come back to my peace is very quick these days. Before, I used to get motivated by other people's expectations, other people's hate, other people's whatever opinions. Now I'm like, I do listen to them, I get affected by it, I get riled up, but the recovery back to my peaceful place where I am not touched by things is very quick. And I'm so glad that I've got to this point. And I see you getting to that point in the future as well. I feel like you're not kind of there. You're
because
better
I'm
than a lot of people.
I'm 7 years behind you, mate.
you're better than a lot of people I've seen at your age. But I'm sure you will get there, man.
Like, I think the biggest struggle that I have is people pleasing. Mate, I think I'm getting better at it for sure.
Yeah.
I don't have to attend if I don't want to attend. This is a very, at one point, I think in 2019, I cut everyone off my life,
Yeah.
But then 2021, I'm almost died, neither. So it was like, okay, like I'm missing out on life, you know, like what if I die tomorrow? Like regrets, no, can't happen, beat, like okay. And we started Synergy Tewelama, I know.
Yeah.
And I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Synergy Pala start when they used to be like, oh, haters, they it's a wonder.
Yeah.
That was your phase, Tewelama.
Yeah.
But my phase then was like, good people are ramro banda khedike. Do I live up to the expectations?
Oh,
when people said, you inspire me, club they're like, oh, I love you, I want to be you. I'm like, fuck.
I know.
You're looking at me as an idol.
Yeah.
Not technically an idol, but you aspire to be me. I inspired you, man. And I've always said inspire before you expire. But when you start to like not live, like, you know, like go even get the halka whiff of it, I stepped back.
Yeah.
And that is when I stepped back of Synergy completely. And you and I had a conversation. You're like, you need to put in effort, mate. Like, what are you doing?
I remember that.
That got too much to me. I was like, I'm not ready for this. And that's when I understood like why people in social media have that effect. And I had to literally sit down. I literally was talking to my cousin. I said, that I still struggle with that. Because I know how it feels to have an expectation. I still struggle with people having expectations of me. Because that part I'm still trying to, you know, improve.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to heal myself, you know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to jump onto this new career change at the age of 28, I know. And everyone's like, "Oh, 28 boys, like your friends are buying houses, they're getting engaged, they're getting married." Like, I mean, your friends probably did that. The goy second that they face, but mine's are like,
Polera khaisake love.
yeah, mine's are very fresh, Nita.
Yeah,
I think this is the age when you really feel like, oh shit, I've done nothing in life, type gonta. But like I said, I always take pride in it's better late than never.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? If I don't do it today, I'm only gonna be 3 years late in 3 years' time. Okay?
Yeah.
So if I don't take this step, I'll be in the same mindset 3 years later, and then I'll be literally doing the same thing. So why would I not try? And if I can try and regret later, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But not trying is what's stopping me, Nita. So I'm at that phase, or let's say I'll just try everything and anything. Okay? Not saying drugs, by the way. Drugs are shit. But
what about magic mushrooms?
I would love LSD. LSD is kind of tempting to me, not gonna lie. Please, my future employer, do not listen to this. I just said tempting. I never said I'd do it. But yeah. So I'm at the phase where I just want to transition my life for the good, for myself. Okay,
yeah.
I've done living enough for other people, and I'll do what I fucking want, man. Who are you to judge me? Only like I'll wear what I want. Who are you to judge me again? And like I've always been that person that, you know, when we have these expectations, oilers and especially, everyone wants to look the same way, have the same style, and which is fine. Like trends, the story, that's there for a reason. That's the market, fashion, fair enough. But don't project on me like, you know, oh, I need to get this type of guy.
Yeah.
Because I will whatever I want to get at whatever time. I will go wherever I want to go, eat whatever the fuck I want to eat.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the whole reason why it's called influencing or influencers in Instagram or whatever, because that is what we get fed. This is what is liked by the society. This is what will get you attention. This is what will get you views. You know.
I think the pressure of, you know, when somebody said I like you type of the inspiration.
Yeah.
I felt like I was giving off the influencer vibe.
Okay.
I did not want to meet that expectation. Like, I'm sorry to disappoint type goes in. Like, how do I come off it? What your face only mind mas halka derailing, like only, you know.
Yeah. I think I get what you mean about synergy though. And I think with synergy, we're in like 2+ years. We're almost 2 years and a few months into doing synergy, and we started with nothing.
Yeah.
We started.
I mean, technically. You know, we said you're next
started from here. We're still here. But the thing is,
but synergy has been our therapy. You can't deny that.
You can't deny it.
Yeah.
Synergy, I think 2 years and over भइसक्यो हैन हामीले synergy सुरु गरेको. And we have gone through a lot. We started with nothing. We didn't even own a camera. We didn't know what lighting was. We didn't know what color grading was. We didn't know what audio was.
I mean, we still technically don't.
We still technically don't. तर हामीलाई त्यतिखेर the things that we didn't know back then, we were just literally 2 people trying to do videos without knowing anything about it, without knowing anything about filming, whatever. We didn't even know the bloody frame rates and all that. But we learned, and I think we tried to do a lot initially. Okay? Initially, for a good first year, we tried to do a lot of things. And I think we were very unfocused, if that's a word. We were not focused on anything particular. We were just trying to do, we were just experimenting. So we were experimenting, we were belting out 5 episodes, we were belting out 5 videos a month whilst holding full-time jobs, whilst learning how to make videos, whilst learning how to learn these new skills in filmmaking and all that.
And trying to live the social media life.
Yeah, exactly.
We are literally one of those people who say, gotta people, okay? we don't plan post.
Yeah.
We don't, and I hope we never do.
I am not into
The plan post करने.
videoing and like editing and all that and making a bloody reel with music and all that.
I
need
love that
to.
shit.
I love watching it, but I can't get around to doing it.
I love making reels, and I don't edit on the reel. I actually do it on my laptop.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoy that part. So I thought, if I'm on the go, I'm not gonna, post like 10 days later. Like, it's
a very planned.
It's very authentic.
Us saying that while being on Instagram, that we should be a bit more organized and everything. And I think we have kind of found the balance now where we are doing exactly enough to keep us going and to keep us being inspired. And when people come up to me and say, oh, we watched the episode, oh, I really loved it and I really liked it, I feel motivated by that.
I feel the same way.
I feel very motivated by that. And even if we don't get a lot of views, even if we don't get sponsorships, even if we don't get money out of this, I am more than happy. To be honest.
That was our goal anyway. We were like, we'd rather have a few loyal listeners than a mass of
big one.
People who don't really get us.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point
because
we're trying to make.
The bigger we get, the more unmanageable it will be, and we'll have to bring in other team members, and somehow the essence of synergy is gonna get diluted.
And I can't confront. I can't employ people.
I can't. I'll have to do all the confronting. I'll be the
you
bad
be the
boss or be a good cop or bad cop. Talk to Mina. I can't take that on my life as we go. I feel like this is the right balance of us releasing 3 episodes and
we're enjoying it right now.
Yeah.
We we are at a very good spot with our life and with synergy as well, okay? And the radiation is fucking impeccable.
Exactly.
And plus it's spring, it's nature's restart, it's Nepali New Year, it's my birthday, it's just all happening, yeah.
But also, why were we into talking about synergy? But also, I think because, this is why I say inner child gets affected in even to our adulthood, where we are dealing with a lot of our stuff. Like with synergy, we're trying to think, how to come up with new topics and all that, how to please others, how to get to our audiences, blah blah blah. And to a certain extent, you have to listen to your audience. What you have to listen to what they want to learn or what they want to hear, but also without losing your perspective.
And
we are at the helm of the ship. Okay? We are not. Yes, we would love to cater to you, but we're not gonna cater to you 100%. And anybody out there who is gonna think, I didn't like what they said on synergy, that's completely fine.
That's your opinion, and you're allowed.
That's completely fine. We will gladly accept a negative comment. We'll gladly accept a negative thing, because for me, when synergy first started, I used to be like, I used to. She even laughs at me.
I know. She used to be like, hate video. When I didn't watch it,
exactly. We need to have a video where we read out negative comments. I used to be that kind of person. Now I'm like, I look at a hate comment and I'm like, okay, this person might not be having a good day. That's my thinking. It doesn't affect on, I'm not good enough.
It doesn't affect on your self-growth.
Yeah.
Like channel go wise, if it's like a very constructive criticism, we love that shit.
Yeah.
And usually this is a DMs mountain.
Yeah.
It's not publicly comment mountain, but we appreciate that very much. And if you feel like you need to say anything, just don't stop yourself. Definitely DM us, or leave it in the comments, whatever.
Yeah. But a lot of things. Healing your inner child ko way ma jana hai. Say we both went through a big journey.
It's a yin and yang, like you said. You were deprived of attention, so you did everything. I wanted to be left alone, so I did everything.
Exactly.
And I'm still doing it. I really am. And
sorry, one of the big things that helped me during my journey of this mental health or healing my inner child is traveling. Like that's been traveling has been my therapy. And I come from days where I didn't know what counseling was, what therapy was.
Sorry, Miss Floppy Dicks.
Sorry. What therapy was, and coming from a society where counseling and therapy is not even a thing, doesn't exist, I did not have a better guidance. Now I know what therapy is. Now I've been to a few sessions myself, and I realize the benefit of it, and I realize that it's not only because you are having a mental psychosis episode that you go to therapy. You can go into therapy as a healthy maintenance.
Yeah. And like I said before, maintenance is the key word. Don't go when you're in crisis. You never do anything when you're in crisis. Because when you're in crisis, everything is just... Like, the Sneakers adverts and you're not you when you're hungry. It's literally that.
It is.
And it applies to everything in life. Only I've recently started, I'm starting to get into traveling now. I did start in the past, but there was a long break because I had a huge downfall. I'm starting to, bits by bits, easing out with other people so far. Because solo, say, I've only done inside the UK. Hopefully we'll get out of the UK this year doing a solo. But as much as I want to do that, at this time frame, I really want to spend time with my friends and family, because I don't know if I trust myself going solo abroad yet, okay? With my state of, fuck you attitude. I don't trust the decisions I'm going to make, okay? So, and I want to create memories because recently I feel like life is too short once it ends okay? So it's big time. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I should spend some time with friends and family because maybe I won't see them next year, So that's been my Oileko memo. But boundaries again, boy, like if I went with 10 people or 5 people, I do one-on-ones now, or 4 people at the most, because I know that's my capability of how much I can tolerate, and me creating boundaries without being selfish or people pleaser.
I hate going to
big
trips
groups.
with big groups. It's just there's
Chaos,
just too many.
man.
And also in learning to heal yourself, can I just point out that I see a lot of people on antidepressants prescribed, and if you need that, that's okay, fair enough. That antidepressants should never be the long-term solution game, because what antidepressants do is they numb you, they suppress your feelings, but they don't actually deal with the feelings that should be dealt with and healed, okay?
And
basically covers it.
Be patient with your feelings. After my dad passed away, February I'm an emotional person. I cry watching TV. February until 3 days ago, no tears came out. No sad films, no my childhood trauma thoughts led out to tears. I was practically numb. Okay? And one episode of Love is Blind, last episode did it for me. And I was not even happy that whatever happened then. And I was happy that my feelings are back, bitch.
They will be. Do you all have moments where you go numb?
Yeah, and you need to be patient with it. Being numb doesn't mean let me call the GP, let's just get this shit done, manera. See it for you, diagnose yourself-ish, inner self, because no one knows you better than yourself, and that's a fact, okay? Your body health, maybe the GP knows, the doctors know, but your inner feelings, what's deep down your heart, no one knows it better than you. Childhood, we were deprived of this, until
now we know,
until we dig it, and that's the difficult part. If you're gonna run away from it, then you're never gonna get the cure to it.
Exactly.
So dig it.
And also GPs don't have near enough time for you. They don't have the patience for you. You cannot expect that. One of the defining moments in my life is when I realized I'm just waiting for somebody to save me when I am my own hero. Nobody's gonna save you, love. If they come and save you, that's good, but that's only gonna be temporary. But nobody's gonna come save you. You have to save yourself. That I don't know. It can be an unpopular opinion, but I'm telling you,
it is true. they can guide you.
They
can guide you where the shore is.
They can
But you gotta
support
swim
you
it, babes.
while doing it.
Yeah,
But you gotta
swim
move
it,
your
babes.
hands
You
and
gotta
legs.
pedal
Yeah.
you gotta pedal your ass.
Exactly.
Like you can be guided. Don't get me wrong, guidance is great. And if you have the luxury to it, please take it. But you've got to do the work. Like, it doesn't come like, oh yeah, I mean, we're probably sounding like, oh my god, they've done so much work. No, we haven't.
We're still doing it.
We have done so much work, yes, but we are still not even halfway there, we think.
The fact that synergy exists, these podcasts exist, is because this is also a form of therapy for us, because we get to talk.
And Shia, by the way, I think I remember you telling, I think a year ago, oh, I love how you've grown so much from Synergy. And I met Shia like when I graduated from uni, like I think 5 years ago. On do like, oh, my friend do. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make Korean film, but obviously clearly that was not me. Because I was living up to someone's expectation and probably joined the course because I was like, fuck you. They were like, I think that day. But she said to me, you're healing from Synergy, man. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I was in denial. I was like, I know. Yeah, I mean, we were just saying the thoughts we had in our mind all along. Technically, I wasn't wrong either, but technically, she was right as well. But I just completely put it under the bed. So thank you so much for acknowledging that before I did.
Exactly.
And I appreciate that a lot.
And you know what? This helps as well. This is like a support group where you get to say everything that you have in mind without being judged and without somebody responding to you as well. You know, sometimes you just need to let out. You're not expecting anything back. You just need to let out. And you know, you need to have a support group like that. If you need to get on antidepressants, get on it, but just make sure you're very careful with it, that it's a temporary fix while you get other help. So your help should be holistic. So you have to be mentally better, you have to have support groups, you have to have counseling, meditate, journal, travel, whatever works for you.
Music.
Whatever heals you, whatever makes you feel good, do it. Because at the end of the day, life, good things have happened, bad things have happened. You just have to fill it with so much goodness that the bad things don't feel like a big thing anymore. Okay? You have to make your life so full that it doesn't have time, or it doesn't have space for horrible things. Don't be a dukhi atma like me forever.
No, like, I think we all go through our dukhi atma phases, but just don't stay in for too long. Yeah. And you need to go through a dukhi atma phase to realize what's greener on the other side. So I wouldn't say don't go. Definitely. Like,
no,
I'm telling you not that way. But if you're in a good state, like, fucking stay there, mate. Like, there's nothing here. But if you're already in the dukhi atma phase, then just telling you that there is light. It might be tiny. And Hamro light one is still tiny, so but mine is anyway. I think hers is like, you know, like it's the Buddha level, whatever. But hold on to it. Hold on the fuck to it. And if you're on the verge of changing a career, ending a relationship, which a lot of people seem to do, number one, good on you. Number two, if you ever think of, you know, your ex, just think why you left. And then you'll go back to square one and you'll be like, yes, I made a good decision. So thank you, sis. Welcome to our pep talk. But anyways, I think we've said it all. I know.
Kind of.
And we're trying to heal our inner child.
Yeah, your inner child will always be with you.
Yeah, and just keep it alive.
Always be with you.
Keep it alive. That's all I have to say.
It's like a reminder of why you do things and what should you not do.
And if people judge you for it, they're not your people. Period.
Yep. So, find your people. That's the main thing.
So thank you for listening to our podcast and chatting. Listening to us rant, as I must say, as you do always. Keep up with the likes on the YouTube and Spotify. We appreciate it a lot. Spotify, my 5 stars. Thank you so much, guys. And share this podcast to a friend who you think is going through the same phases as us. We've mentioned before.
A lot of people say listening to us is like listening to your friend rant, okay? And a lot of people listen to us by themselves, and then start laughing by themselves, right? Because
Oh.
and I find that really, really
Yeah,
nice.
that's what we
Somebody
aim to
recently,
do.
yeah,
Eh?
somebody recently just said to me, "Oh yeah, she said she loved your podcast because she just listened to it on her own time, and then she just laughs by herself in the room." And I was like,
Therapy.
achieved,
You know, like
goal achieved.
ring therapist synergy.
If you can't afford therapy, come
Listen
to us.
and you'll be like, okay, do you know what? My life is not as miserable as that. With that being said, see you on the next one. Bye.